There'll be no church this Easter Sunday, at least not in the traditional sense.
Congregations will meet from the comforts of their living rooms. Easter egg hunts may be confined to the front yard, and family members who never contributed to the cooking suddenly have a lot on their plate.
It's going to be tricky, I know, but we might just come out of it with renewed appreciation for our faith and our families. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne tonight is going 360.
It's the new way to worship.
Glad you have joined us.
We have been praying for you in worship.
At least for now.
Engage with others.
Jumping on Facebook, Zoom, or YouTube to catch your church or synagogue delivering its latest message.
He restores.
Right now we know we're not going to meet in person till at least May.
We need to be still. Everyone needs to stay in.
There's some interesting gifts in this virtual world.
With that in mind, we're going 360 on how churches and leaders of faith are guiding their congregants through Easter and Passover at a very difficult time. Those services will look much different this week for families like the Baumans.
The fact that we're together, that's what's most important.
While they won't be attending church, they're thankful their pastor is able to bring the sermon to them.
So we can still have some sort of fellowship. You know, the message of this season, that's what's important.
At Montview Boulevard Presbyterian Church in Denver, the message is a mix of hope while acknowledging grief and sadness.
This is the first year in 118 years that we won't be here on Easter Sunday. It's been through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, so it's sad for us.
And yet co-pastors Ian Cummins and Clover Beal say there's something unique about this challenge.
Click on the link.
Past generations have also faced challenges like this and have overcome them.
We're talking about hope, and at the end of the day, God is with us.
One of the advantages to me is that you're just not locked in.
Reverend Ronald Wooding is the executive director of the Bruce Randolph Thanksgiving celebration that feeds nearly 40,000 people in our community. He says the silver lining is that web-based services have the ability to reach a far bigger audience.
Ministry is everybody's business. So basically whatever you're doing, if you're helping people, you're doing ministry.
And that brings us to the Old Testament and Judaism.
There will be more Passover Seders in the country this year than ever in history.
That's the family-oriented, ritual-packed dinner, which tells the story of the Jewish people's exodus from Egypt.
The entire story of the Exodus and the story of Passover is about the Israelites. They were enslaved by the mightiest society of the time, and they saw no way out. And God brought them deliverance. No matter how bleak and dark things may seem, we will come through this and be better than ever before.
The Regional Methodist Church and its bishop were ahead of the curve when they decided no in-person services until May.
And I believe that churches are supposed to be leaders in times of crisis.
Pastor Brad Lorvik at Highlands United Methodist will stream on Facebook on Easter Sunday.
Oh, good morning, everyone.
We've moved to a teleprompter behind instead of my notebook, so that instead of looking down, I can look right at the camera and be more connected.
There's a bare minimum staff of just 3 people, including him, during recordings.
John Wesley, who was the founder of Methodism, had 3 simple rules: do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. The first rule, before you do good, before you grow your relationship with God, is do no harm. And not gathering together is a way we can do no harm. Just like the tomb was empty so that we might all know life, the sanctuary is going to be empty so that we might all know life.
And nearly all faith leaders agree there's beauty and purpose in the idea of being with family and slowing down this Easter.
There's time of connection and healing, I think, that will happen for us.
And strangely enough, the distance that we're having to keep is bringing us closer.
To focus on our loved ones, to focus on our spiritual connection to God.
Social distancing doesn't mean that we are distanced from our faith.
And then when we are able to get back together, when that feels like the best time to do that, it's going to be Easter.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.